What's up everybody, this is Marcus, your MTT coach of the Academy of Poker with another video today. Today it's about, you see it already in the picture, the topic is how to choose hands that we call versus hands that we shove. So let's jump right into it.
Hi guys, my name is Marcus, I'm an MTT coach of the Academy of Poker and we have a great offer for you. Our current Academy of Poker course will only cost you 200 euros, but if you do it the right way, you can even get it for free. All you have to do is hit the link in the description below, get in contact with our managers, and you can start right away. And now, enjoy the upcoming video.
And as always, while I'm switching the page, make sure to leave a comment. If you have any questions, at least give a like or subscribe to our YouTube channel to not miss out on any of our videos. That we greatly appreciate that. It helps the channel to grow and also gives us the motivation to even make more videos day in, day out. But let's, as said, jump right in. So, what is important here? Of course, positions and ranges are really important. It kind of sounds easy, of course, that we know late positions, it's probably easier to jam than if we are in early positions. It makes sense, a bit more sense to just flat because a lot of action behind you. But it's always good to be set. So, as said, I have a good example. In that case here, so when you, for example, shoving ace-jack on the button versus a cutoff open, it's way more plus EV than when you jam the same hand being in middle position versus UTG. Because, of course, the ranges are the keyword here. So the cutoff opening range is, of course, way bigger than a UTG opening range. So that's the thing. Also, to make decisions a bit easier, just think about what would you open from that certain position and how your hand will look versus that range. Pretty simple, but as said, those are like basic educational videos, so therefore I think it's always nice to know that. And when you do the range training, you might be like in a bit tricky situation, so you're not sure. Just take a moment, breath, and say, okay, I will open this and this and this, and my hand looks pretty good versus that range. So I will be ahead most of the time, or I will have my 50% because it's a flip most of the time and stuff like that. So just think about those things. And of course, which is trapping, as this is like a pretty well spread thing. A lot of players get maybe too greedy and want to do it. So I wanted to talk about this as well. So again, position is a key thing here in these situations. When you flat, for example, with premium pocket pairs in early position, example here, UTG +1 versus a UTG open, this of course will work more often because you have so many players behind you. And then it does make a lot of sense to trap, especially if you play in bounty tournaments, which are so popular, as you all know. So in those situations when you are fairly short, let's say around 20 bigs or even lower, and then you flat in a late position, even though it does look a bit suspicious, because that's if you again put yourself in the situation of another player on the table, say, wow, this short stack player is flatting an opening range in that position. Wow, that looks pretty strong. So make sure that the best thing is always if your table is not really consisting of good players. So then the thing, oh, short player, I will just jam my hand and try to get the bounty, right? So that's the case. Also, next thing is if there are short players behind you. So if you are like, again, in middle position or an early position and you just called a raise here, and you see there the button, the small blind, big blind is sitting on less than 10 big blinds, maybe even, then this is always a good thing. Even better, and this will happen a lot of times when there are really short stack players, and by saying really short stack, I mean like 1-2 big blinds. When you maybe just start with a limp, for example, or you just flat when the guy is 2.5, 3 big blinds. So the key thing here is that if the short stack player 3-bet jams for just like 1 big blind more, it's enough, because the important thing is that it's a complete raise, because otherwise you cannot only call the rest amount. So if he has 2.5 big blinds and the open raise are open to 2 big blinds, then the 3-bet jam will only be to 2.5 big blinds, and that's not a complete raise. So therefore you will not be able to 3-bet or to 4-bet in that situation. So keep that in mind. And also, last but not least, of course, if you have really aggressive players behind you, or the open raiser is really aggressive, because then on the flop you can be pretty certain to get it in, because he will continue or just put you all in if you have like a little bit more than the pot left or stuff like that. So keep those things in mind. And another third thing is, when you're at the final table, then it might be a bit different, of course. So there's ICM pressure on opponents, and in those cases, shoving is probably a bit better, because especially when you're a middle stack, it will hurt bigger stacks more if they call you and lose, especially when they try to open wider because they are one of the big stacks, or the big stack, because they want to try to push the people around. So in that cases, if you have like stronger holdings, it doesn't make sense to flat them that much, because you rather put him into a bad ICM situation and make him make the mistake, than with you just flatting and being on a really tough decision on flops and turns that could look pretty gross for you. So therefore, I said. And also, when we talked about flatting or jamming, it's also better to then fold like hands you would normally flat. So then we talk not only about flatting or jamming, but on about flatting or folding. And those, as I said, so hands like the queen jack off, king 10 off, even if you have position on the big stack, it's better because of ICM to just fold them right away and get out of tricky situations that might come on the flop or turn. This is it already for today's short educational video. I hope you learned some stuff and you can use them on the tables, where I wish you good luck as always. And yeah, have a good day. See you in the next video, guys. Ciao.